So today we're looking at the stock tank for my 1975 Ford Bronco versus the 23-gallon tank from Toms Offroad. Welcome back to the garage, the place where we are making your Bronco, your dream Bronco. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. I'm putting out how-to videos for the weekend mechanic and providing the Bronco entertainment for the Bronco community. Now, if you saw, I just installed my 23-gallon fuel tank, but I wanted to do a little side-by-side comparison, like which one is better. I think we all know which one's better, but you know, like if you're thinking about switching, like do you switch? So let's dive in. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, that's easy. Like, why would you even consider the difference? But there's a couple things that I want to compare. The first thing is capacity. And obviously we've got the 23-gallon tank over here, and then the stock tank, which I think is 13-ish gallons over here. So definitely capacity makes a difference. And the second comparison is the look. And you know, really I feel like this is an important one because you want your Bronco to look right. And I really like how the stock tank looks behind the bumper, under the Bronco. I don't feel like it hangs down super far. And when you measure it, it measures at 22.5 inches off the ground. Now, I do have a 2.5-inch suspension lift, but in comparison to the 23-gallon tank, there is a little bit more room there. Now with the 23-gallon tank, it hangs down 2 inches lower at 20.5 inches. Now it's only 2 inches, but it hangs down a little bit lower and it's more noticeable from behind the Bronco. So that's where I think the stock tank looks better. The third comparison is the fuel pump. For my setup, I have the Edelbrock EFI and it requires an electric fuel pump. The stock fuel tank does not have the ability to add an in-tank fuel pump, so I had to run a frame-mounted fuel pump. The 23-gallon tank allows an in-tank pump, which is more efficient than a frame-mounted pump. But the issue is if you have a problem with your fuel pump, you either have to drop the tank or cut a hole in the floor like I did, just in case anything ever happens. That being said, in my opinion, the 23-gallon tank with an in-tank fuel pump is better for EFI. And the fourth comparison is the exhaust. Now this is an easy fix, but it just wasn't something that I planned on having to fix. Now that I've installed my 23-gallon tank, I have to reroute my exhaust. The stock tank has more room for the exhaust to go around. Simple fix, but it's an important thing to call out for those of you who are looking to upgrade and you have dual exhaust. So my final comparison isn't really a comparison, but you know, it's just something to consider when you're looking at this. With the 23-gallon tank, how it's shaped, mainly right here in this area, because of how the fuel gauge inside of the tank sits, once you get to about the bottom third of the tank, you lose gas super fast. And that's not that you actually lose gas, but it's the shape of the tank. It's like, because it is bulky up at the top and then goes skinny at the bottom to give you more clearance, then the last third of your tank actually seems to go away faster, and that's just because of the shape of the tank. So not really a comparison. You know, this the stock tank is shaped kind of equally on both sides, so you don't have that, but with the 23-gallon tank, you lose a lot of fuel there at the end, but really it's just the shape of the tank. So that's it. What do you guys think? The stock tank versus the 23-gallon tank? I'm sure most of you are going 23-gallon, but some of you guys might go stock. That's what I thought I wanted when I first put this thing in there. It was cheaper as well. That is one thing. This is a cheaper option. I think this one's like 500 and this one's like 250. So you're like half, you know, half the price. But leave it in the comments below. What do you guys think? What's the better option? What are you going with? And what are you running? Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.